Hello, everyone! I always love seeing a mini dancing above my head whenever we start these.
I mean, if you can't play with your action figures, what are you going to do with them, right?
Fair. Okay, fair. Very fair. Anyways, hi everyone. It is Friday, and that means it is time for some more Paint and Slay. I am V Muse, your painter tutorial person, and above me is Lauren, and she will be painting along with me and learning how to paint. And this week, we're going to have some fun with hook horrors from WizKids, which are these fantastic pre-primed miniatures you can get at your friendly local game store pretty much anywhere. A classic monster of D&D, and I can't wait to start painting these fellows. However, we do have some cool things. We do have some cool things that are happening this week. Lauren, what are the cool things happening this week?
Happy Spring Extravaganza! I know, we're like on day 3 and everyone's like, Happy Spring Extravaganza! Oh, God. Yeah. So, yes, actually, it just happened since it's now just past noon Pacific. You should be able to go into the game right now and collect your new chest from the Spring Extravaganza. I definitely suggest doing that because you want to go every single day and collect your chest, because if you get enough of the chest, then you get a special reward. So definitely check that out. Also, we had our new Evergreen Champion Blushi drop recently.
Yes,
our fun magic tank. Our fun spirit and formidable tank.
Oh, that key art though, wow.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
big fan.
when is the key art never
Very
not
true.
good?
And honestly, this art too is, I'm sorry, I'm just a sucker for any of the art, quite frankly. So,
Pretty
hi.
much. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got all of that going on. And today is, I guess it's the final day of the 3 days of streaming of the Spring Extravaganza. But, I mean, we're going to continue to do streams.
Yeah.
I know Garwar still has his stream tomorrow, and we're all back on Monday.
Yes.
And while Idle Champions Presents has come to a close, a familiar quest.
Yep.
I keep almost saying formation save when I say a familiar quest, and I keep saying familiar quest when I want to say formation save, and a
Fair.
familiar quest is going to be back in that time slot on Monday. So you will still be able to get your weekly dose of Idle Champions D&D. Todd Kenrick is back with 4 amazing content creators who are playing adorable familiars who are in a horrific situation. And if I could be more specific than that, I would, but you just have to watch. You can catch up on all the previous episodes on our YouTube channel. And I think that's all of the announcements.
But I do believe Familiar Quest starts at 5 p.m., not 4.
Yes. Yeah,
that's the one difference.
Yeah, it's the one difference because those are only a 2-hour game because, it's a more regular game.
Yeah.
So a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all of the things. I am frantically looking through all of my notes to make sure that I've said everything that I'm supposed to. So while I do that, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing starting the hook horror.
The hook horror is this wonderful creature. It is, if you want your size classification, it is a large creature. Okay, you can see here's my go-to medium reference, and they have some notable heft to them. Again, this is a miniature from WizKids. They always come primed ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about priming these particular miniatures. He's definitely a big boy. I just saw that comment in chat from CV. And I did have to go through in a couple points along here on the arms and just take my little mold line remover, which is I actually was kind of chuckling about this. I used my hook tool on my hook horror, and I'm like, this is appropriate. You can get yourself one of these things. It's great for just removing those larger lines that might be raised above. And you know what they are because you see it's almost like a seam. And all you have to do is just run your mold line removal tool lightly across, and it'll pull it up. If you dig in deep, then yeah, you'll probably have to go in and reprime that area. The other thing you can use is also just a simple emery board. Like I keep these on hand too. And just,
or as Old Whiskey Bob says, a pet back scratcher.
Scratcher.
No.
Back scratcher. Bonus points for anyone who gets that cartoon reference. But that's basically all I had to do with this fellow. Is there was a mold line on this part, and then there was another one over here that I just quickly cleaned up to fix things. So we're going to have some fun.
And I did forget one thing.
Oh, we did. Okay.
While we are having that fun, if you have any questions for us about mini painting, about Idle Champions, about anything really, because we're here for the next 2 hours to chat and paint and relax, go ahead and put those in chat with question in big capital letters. And the lovely Martin is our mod today. Martin is here to help out, to pass along those questions, because sometimes we are going to be focusing on painting and we might miss your question in chat. So Martin is going to grab those. Never fear. Hang out. We'll get to your questions. I promise. And with that,
we're going to. Okay, I need to stop playing with mine now.
We're just going to be playing with them in a different way, right?
Yes. So what I like to do with this particular type of texture that you see happening here on this miniature, and you've seen us do this before, we are actually going to wash, not as in give it a bath, wash as in use what the supply is called a wash, and basically going to do a black wash over this entire miniature. Reason being, this has some really deep grooves in the details. You can even see it here in the back. And I find when you do a wash ahead of time like that, it helps bring out those details. It also becomes your insurance policy. So if for some reason you hiccuped over a really deep spot, more often than I was doing that earlier, more often than not, you'll find that having done the wash ahead of time will buy you a little bit of a shadow looking like area as opposed to a bright white spot that you missed. So I'm going to be using my go-to Citadel Shade Null Oil. This you can get pretty much in any shop or even online if a shop is not an option. But you can also make your own black wash by simply mixing some black paint and then some clean water. Don't use your rinse water that you have going for your brushes. Don't ever do that with washes because then you're really going to make a muddied wash. So basically what you'll want to do, Lauren, is as I hit my camera, you're going to want to take just a couple drops of black and then add water to it. So it's like a broth consistency, like a good bone broth consistency. And that will create
I got
wash.
That.
Yeah. Excellent. So I'm going to find, I was literally just talking about brushes with you for what we'll need. And where I put them away. That's why. I'm like, where did my brushes go?
You were very good. You're very good. And put them where they're supposed to go. Yeah.
So I'm going to use my nice fluffy round number. Well, that's my number 3. Where'd my number 5 go? A 3 or a 5 will work, quite frankly. But you want to start off with a bigger brush. The reason why you want a larger brush for this is because, oh, there you are. That's where
we're doing the whole thing, right?
We're doing the whole thing. And quite frankly, when you use a smaller brush for washes, it ends up creating more puddles as opposed to dispersing it across the miniature more consistently. So just a little sad note. So now I found my 5. And
Yay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about time this is actually going to be just truly a wash brush because you can see it starting to curl up on me at the end there. Yeah, so
okay.
it's time for me to buy a new set of brushes soon, which is not a bad thing. That means I've been painting. That's not a bad thing.
You've been painting, and then we've also done 19 of these episodes. So,
and some of them have too many.
Yeah, we've gotten through quite a lot with just the one set. If you are interested in painting along with us, and I know there will be people who will take a drink in the chat when I say this, and I will as soon as I am done painting these abs, because oh my, there's a lot of abs. But you can find out all of the information to join us on this painting excursion on our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. We have a paint and slay channel where you can literally go to the channel, find out all of the stuff that we are using for each week, find out the regular supplies
that kind of day.
we use. It's a Friday.
It's
a Friday. And those are the supplies that I am using, and those are the supplies I've used since the beginning. And so after 19 episodes, I mean, my brushes are still looking pretty good, but maybe it's time to spend a tiny bit of money and refresh my brushes. Might be getting close.
Yeah.
Especially after painting these abs, because
there's texture.
This big boy does not skip any weightlifting.
No, it works out every day. So you can see the difference just by doing this wash. The details are already popping through.
Oh, yeah.
Which is helpful it actually helps when you go into paint.
Yeah, just being able to see all of the detail. And for it being, I mean, it's not a small mini, but in relation to some of the others that we've been working on, the Dragon and Xanathar and all those, this is a smaller mini, and it's just got a ton of little bits of detail all over the place.
Really.
Nooks and crannies and hooks and all those fun things. And abs. 1, 2,
hooks and
4,
abs.
5. I mean, this guy definitely has at least an 8-pack.
8-pack? Good Lord.
Yeah, I went with 8, although the one might be a segmented part of its carapace. I'm not sure. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because you know what? Otherwise, it's going to get angry and attack me.
And let's not do that. Nope.
Let's not do that. And we've already got questions in chat. In fact, we've got a very, very good question from Nas5134. How do we unlock Belushi? Blushi. You know what? I spent so long this week practicing saying Blushi so I could run that D&D game. Every once in a while, Belushi still comes out of my mouth.
I can't say Minsk skin together. It comes in Minsk.
The Minsk skin.
The Minsk.
The mink skin. Anyway, that is a very good question. You're going to want to go to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign. And as of Wednesday, there should be a couple of new adventure and adventure variants. And I believe it's called Bully for You is the specific adventure variant that you need to play. You might have to do a couple free plays and unlock it first before you can play through it. And that adventure variant, very specifically, there's a frog that leaps around your formation and is constantly kicking people out of it. And basically, you just have to be on top of your formation because once someone is kicked out of your formation, they can't come back. So I believe it's a lot of areas you got to get through, and you're going to go through a lot of your champions. So just be prepared for that. But it's kind of a lot of fun because it's a little bit random where that bullfrog lands, and so you just have to be ready for anyone to have to go in on the spot.
Wow.
So yes. And then once you finish that adventure variant, you unlock Lucy. And then you can start to gear her up, and she is a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
This guy's got side abs. How do you get side abs?
I know.
How's that even possible? I don't understand. Ooh. Dark Cyril says, I had never considered doing a wash first. That's wild how much sharper those details go from that alone. That's been a thing that a lot of people have talked about, and we've done this a couple of times now.
Yeah. I am also one of those mini painters who will say don't get stuck up on the shoulds and order of operations because, quite frankly, those are limiting. They're good to know, absolutely. Know your techniques, learn your techniques. They're extremely helpful, but then figure out how else you can use your techniques outside of the usual, well, this is how everyone does it, because you'll find there's some really cool things you can do if you break the rules.
It's like Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Yeah, no rules, just paint.
No rules, just painting.
Now I want that for a shirt.
That's our new tagline. No rules, just painting.
Yep, I like it. I'm here for it.
So, someone make us a shirt,
please.
We'll talk to the fine people at C&E. See if we can get shirts made. I'm sure that getting more merchandise made for us is just going to be really easy.
Oh yeah.
Delunja says, so stuck at 600, this makes me unbelievably sad. Oh, you may need to get a little more favor in the Witchlight campaign. If you're finding that a really hard one to get through, think about maybe going and doing a couple of free plays and just earning some more favor in that campaigns before you go back and do it again, because Witchlight is one of the newer campaigns and you might not have played enough of it, especially if you've been playing a while and you're used to getting into a campaign and just blowing through it because you've got so much favor in it. So that would be my suggestion. You can also, and this time I will take a drink, come to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. and ask to see whether there's something else you can try. And, maybe there's something else formation wise. Maybe there's a plan you can come up with for using what order you're going to use what champions to make sure that you've got some of your strongest champions towards the end. That's basically how
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's basically how I did it is the first 100 or so, 200, 300 levels were maybe not my strongest champions.
Creme of the crop.
Yeah, and then I just slowly started using the more and more powerful ones until we were at the end. So, and I did not even have to use all of my strongest just because of the way that the frog jumped around. I ended up having to put like all of my tanks in though. That frog wanted to be in tank position.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the lovely hook horror with the wash on it. And as you can see, this definitely pops out more. So you can really see all the textures, everything that is happening, and all of that goodness going on.
Yeah, it's actually a little easier. My camera is not as fine of a detail camera as V's is. Mine's more for faces, it's not for minis. But I have found if I shade it from my face light, it's a little easier to at least see the details.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's that. Now we have the fun part of we want this to dry just a little bit. Because if we go in with a wet wash, you're just going to end up with mud. So I do want to show you the artwork for these hook horrors. As you can see, we have here, right there, we have what it looks like in game, which is actually so much fun. And I kind of love this whole almost vulture-like expression and everything.
Yeah.
But the nice thing is with the WizKids miniatures, you do get a reference art in the back. So I'm definitely going to key into doing this whole deep violet purple with the lighter tones and then fading it into these more tans and taupes along the way. And then we have, I'm sorry, but I found this adorable. Yes, I am saying this about a monster. But if you look on the WizKids reference, it has like this little yellowed snoot. So we're going to have some fun and I think add that detail to the end of its hook just because it just gives it some more personality in my book, quite frankly.
It makes you want to boop the snoot before you get killed by it.
Boop. Exactly.
Boop that snoot.
You're just gonna boop it. What was that? There was that toy, the Bop It from the 80s. Remember that?
Oh, flip it, bop it. There's a whole
it was like
series of adjectives that I can't remember now.
Okay.
But
who remembers that? Yeah.
I'm sure. Chat.
Right?
Chat, I come to you in our time of need.
Please,
The
chat.
name was Bop It.
Bop It, Flip It, Twist It, Socket. Okay.
Thank you, Garwar.
There we go.
That was
whatever.
I think you're right about the order because that sounds very familiar. So. Oh, you're going with the fan maneuver.
I'm doing the fan maneuver. And actually, what I'm going to do is we're going to do what I like in terms of we've had a lot of figures that are like open mouths, tongue sticking out. I've just realized this. We've had the Froghemoth, we've had the Mimics, we had
the dragon,
the Beholder. Oh, we have had a lot with like the factor going on.
Yeah, pretty much all of the larger, all of them that are not the medium-sized creatures
that
have a tongue.
Yes.
And I bet you know what? The skeletons have a tongue. It's fallen out.
There you go. That is okay. Life is funny when it comes to painting minis. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start in the inside of the mouth first for painting because quite frankly, it's a lot easier to take care of that in the beginning so that if anything should hopscotch out of the mouth and onto the sides, you can go back over and kind of paint over that. So we're going to make a deep red using bloody red and a touch of black. And then you'll notice on the art here, their tongues actually have a purple tone to it. So it will create sort of a lighter purplish color for that tongue once we get the deeper reds in. But this will give it a more menacing mouth by starting in with a darker red.
All right, so bloody red, and how much of the black?
I would actually do 2/3 of the bloody red to 1/3 of the black and see what that gets you.
And we probably don't need that much because, it's a tongue, but it's a small tongue, right?
Yeah, and it's the inside of the mouth is not that dramatic either in terms of size. Like the Beholder, you need it a lot. This one, not so much. Will you come here, please? I'm trying to get my detail brush.
For a second, I thought you were talking to one of your cats. I'm like,
that's. Is it a brush or is it a cat?
Yeah.
That is a viable game in my area.
That's our new stream coming next week. Is it a brush or a cat?
Brush or cat? Okay.
I think the answer is always cat.
Always cat. Well, actually, unless one of them's napping on me and was hiding, I didn't see a cat when I closed my door. But that doesn't mean it's guaranteed, quite frankly. I have walked into my room hours later and suddenly there's one sleeping on my bed after I opened the door. I'm like, no one was in here when I closed it.
Yeah, cats are sneaky like that.
Yeah.
Super sneaky.
They sneak.
All right. I think I got this mixed up. I got a pretty dark red going on here.
Nice.
We thought the bloody red was bloody. It's now even more bloody.
Yes. I just like darkening it because that bloody red is a bright bloody red. It's like a fresh wound red. Red is really more the color for that one.
Look.
Come here. I need paper towel.
Oh, hey, Delunga Jai says, oh, crap, just got a bud spike. Slammed all the ults and made it through. Woohoo! Hey, congratulations. Enjoy Belushi.
Yay!
Oh, and it must be a time gate weekend because we have it's been a while because we've had 2 events in a row.
Back-to-backs.
Yeah, so we've got people in chat asking suggestions for their 3 free time gates, which is always fun. Everybody always has suggestions. Fantastic Tanuki says, I'm about to start my first time gate. Congratulations. And I think I'm going to go for Korth since it'll be my first slot 2 champ. The other 2 options are Xander and Lazaps, but I have other champs in those slots. Anyone have thoughts? This is my 3rd week in the game. Oh, hey, welcome. I don't know much about anything, but Mars was talking about split the party. You know, I think I agree with go for Korth because, yeah, getting a slot 2 champ is always good. Having a deep roster in a bunch of places is good. And of those 3, I think Korth is solid. The other one, if you were interested in some other options, I'd say go for Lazaps because Lazaps is a fun tank that is they're a tank that becomes available when many other tanks are not because of them being a goblin and evil. So they're also super fun. So those would be my suggestions. Oh, jeez. And already I see the hopscotch on this tongue.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Are we doing the whole mouth or just the tongue?
I am doing the whole mouth and the tongue's going to be made a lighter purple.
Ah, okay.
Is how I'm treating this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I haven't done as much hopscotching as I thought.
No, you should be fine.
Get under the tongue. Under that tongue.
I actually find the point of the beak area is a little bit more tricky because it gets more deeply inset, so you have to kind of do a stippling action with your brush.
Yeah, that poke.
Yeah.
Poke. I seem to remember, now that I've been thinking about this whole opened mouth situation, I seem to remember Jeremy Crawford at some point in an interview that I watched talking specifically about art orders that did not have creatures or people yelling and how excited he was to get those or to see those happen because there seems to be a consistent thing with dramatic art and where people are yelling when you're fighting. Creatures are snarling and screaming and doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah. And so having an opened mouth during those times makes sense, but eventually you kind of want to see someone smile or you want to see a creature not actively yelling and screaming.
This is true. That's okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. So hey, the next time you're taking a look at your fantasy art, think about that. The more you know. I think 5th edition art is way better at that. And I think if I remember the interview correctly, that was part of the discussion was how 5th edition was trying to get a more variety of art and it wasn't just people yelling at monsters who are yelling back.
Roar, roar, roar.
And I mean, if you're going to scream at someone, your tongue is going to be
This
noticeable.
is true. Yeah, this is
just
very
gonna
true.
happen. It's just anatomy.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Embrace
it.
And now, geez, I just looked at the chat. Looks like those frogs are busy for some people.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. All right.
Grey Shaped, I think, is talking about their pet. We don't have video evidence yet, but are pretty sure he figured out how to operate our inner doors, which are levers, not knobs. Yeah, pets are devious that way.
My one cat will do that. Hemingway, he's my polydactyl, so he has thumbs. I have watched this cat. He's also a Maine Coon, which means very long. I have watched him stand up on his hind legs, which reached about almost to mid rib cage on me when he reaches up, and basically reaches up to the doorknob and shunk, levers it down.
Yep.
Very easy.
Yeah, when I was young, we had a Siberian Husky, and he was smart enough to open all the doors. Didn't matter what kind of door it was. He knew. All right, what's next?
So now we're going to go back over and create a lighter purpley color using the same stuff we just used for our mouth. So you're going to want to do a little dot of blue on the edge. Just a dot of blue on the edge. And you're not going to mix it all together. You're going to pull some of the red into the blue along with taking the bone white. Actually, the bone white or the dead white? I think I want to do the dead white. Dead white.
Oh, okay. Then I got to grab.
I'm sorry about that. I thought I had both the whites going and I didn't. Ooh.
How dare.
How did I?
How dare. There we go.
And then I'm just going to aim for a purple.
And how much white did you say?
A little dot of white, provided your bottle doesn't decide to surprise you and really go ham and do a big dollop, like mine just did.
It happens. And then, all right, so mix those together and then pull in some red and aim for purple.
For like a violet purple. Violet, not violent.
I mean, why not both?
It could.
I mean, why not both?
This is true.
Considering the creature.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. Mine's a little on the darker side, but it's a purple. It is definitely...
So you can always add a little bit more of the white if you want to.
Maybe,
baby.
Yeah, or maybe I kind of like it. I'll stick with what I got. It's...
If you like it, then you got it.
Yeah. If you like it and you know it, don't add more. Clap, clap.
Clap, clap. I was just about to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Missoura says, I mean, we could always go for a hue of violent purple. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we're going for here, right?
Mm-hmm. This is true. So this is basically the color that I created. Putting it on my thumbnail so you can see.
Okay, yeah, mine's not too far off. Mine's maybe...
I'm just going to freehand and have some fun now, folks. Yank. Speaking of violets, ta-dam!
There you go.
So now that I'm done playing, actually I'm trying to buy some dry time. Okay, let's go back into just the tongue itself. You're going to put this color onto the tongue.
Okay.
Okay, not in the rest of the mouth, but definitely on the tongue itself. And if you don't get all the way into the back of the mouth, that is perfectly okay. It's almost like you're feathering this in. So you get a slight blend happening. Yeah.
And now is the moment where we're doing fine detail work.
And we get quiet. The thinking quiet.
Yeah.
I'm also... Oh, go ahead.
Must be careful with brush and can't think and brush at the same time.
It's like turning the music down in your car when you're looking for a new place and you have the directions going.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do that.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to be distracted singing along with something, and then the next thing you know, you're 5 miles off of your turn.
Yep, because you didn't hear a turn right here. I always
that's if I'm smart enough to have Google Maps or something going. Ooh, trying to get under this tongue is a challenge.
That's why I said if you don't want to go all the way in, you don't have to. It's more focused towards the most noticeable outer portion of that tongue. This has like, rock star-esque type of vibe to it right now.
Ooh.
See, look, here's its microphone.
Yeah, it's not actually screaming, it's doing death metal.
Yes.
Which is kind of screaming, actually, when you think about it. It's just very, very controlled, very practiced screaming.
It is. Okay, so that takes care of the mouth area for us. Blah. Blah, blah,
Bleh.
blah. No, that's a vampire. It's a different one.
For all we know, this hook horror is a vampire.
God, that's a terrifying thought. A
Mm-hmm.
vampiric hook horror?
Yeah, why not?
No.
How to make your players nervous. Just add vampire to everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a myconid vampire.
Oh my, that becomes sort of disturbing.
It's a flump vampire.
Oh.
Try it at home.
Is cute. Yeah, Thumps is so cute. Okay, so now that we have that going, and I should probably look at my notes. We did the mouth. Now we're going to take some ultramarine, some bloody red, and some black. So kind of like what we've already done, but we're going to make a dark purple. We're not going to add white into the literal mix of things.
Okay. And this is, I'm assuming we're going for body here.
Yes, we're going to go for the main portion of the body. So I'm going to do, provided my bottle stops blowing bubbles. There we go.
Oh.
See, the white was just like, here we come. And the red's like, don't want to play. Nope, don't want to.
And then you have that nervous moment where you're squeezing and nothing's happening. And you're like, oh, is this about to explode?
Oh, I
into
did
my
that.
face?
I did that over the weekend. I was doing some painting, impromptu painting time with one of my kiddos. And it was Goblin Green of all things. Went to squeeze it out and I could tell there was a plug, and a plug is when you get dried paint in the nozzle of your paint. So I could tell there was a plug in there. And so I thought I had pushed the plug down or gotten rid of it. And I went to squeeze it, and because being so confident in myself, and the lid just exploded off. I was like, oh. Luckily it was in a paper plate. See, paper plates, they're a good thing. Luckily it was in a paper plate. Everything was fine. I was able to salvage the paint and put it back in. But it was just one of those moments where, and this is why I adore my youngest, gee, Mom, I thought you were a professional.
Oh, jeez. Nothing like your kids telling you things to deflate your ego, right?
Uh-huh. No, honestly, I had such a good laugh over it because I was like, I can't believe it. And it goes, it's okay. It was just too funny.
I'm taking a look to see your portions of these three colors.
I'm starting with equal parts red and blue, and my black is very runny, so I did about half that amount for my black.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump down to my 3, and I'll start painting it on once I can find my 3.
And go ahead and start mixing these 3 together?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
You basically want a nice dark purple.
What if it's a little too dark?
Then
what if it's more mud?
It's more mud. Okay, that means there was a lot more black involved, so you could feasibly start putting in a little bit of white.
Okay.
To lighten it up, to raise the tone.
Yeah, it's a little on the dark side.
We have cookies.
I mean, cookies are good, but also I want it lighter. I want both cookies and an actual purple.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
All right. Okay. All right. We're getting there. That helped a lot.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more white because I want this. I really like that this creature is very clearly purple. Like, I love that the creatures in D&D are these fantastical colors.
Oh, it's wonderful. So what we're going to do here, you can see there's sort of this effect where the purples sort of stop and the tans pick back in. So we're going to use our elbows and our knees and our head, elbows, knees. I
was there with you.
Oh my God, we're going into song. So you're going to stop at basically at the crown of the head, I guess. How are we going to, the brow of the head. We're going to stop at the brow of the head with the purple, at the elbows and at the knees. And then we're going to do a little bit of feathering before we start going into the tans. And that will help us with the blending effect. So that's kind of the area you want to make sure you're covering.
Okay.
And this is what always throws me about these hook horrors as well, because it's the back plate is the same color as everything else. And I'm like, wait, what color are you again? And it's like, oh no, you're consistent. You're like a beetle.
Well, they can be colorful, but they also have to be deadly.
Dun, dun, dun. So
I'm almost at a purple that I'm happy with. I'm
That's good.
a little behind, but we'll
That's
get
okay.
there.
That is totally okay. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to start dispersing the purple around. And we're putting on our base color.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I haven't gotten to the point with my mixing and where I've given up and I've started over. So I'm super close. I think actually I think this will work.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. It took a little more white than I was expecting, but we got there in the end.
And then just make sure that the consistency of your paint is like a maple syrup. I knew I didn't have to thin my paint because my black is so runny, it's thinning in process of mixing. But you don't want it to be too thick. Is the other thing to keep in mind. And
you're using your 3 to start off with?
I'm using my 3 to start off. We're going to switch to a detail brush as we get into this feathering I want to do. But right now, I'm just basically working on getting it into the larger portions of this figure. Now I have that purple people eater song in my head.
Sorry, I'm distracted by adding water and getting consistencies and thinking about maple syrup.
Now I want pancakes. Of course, I always want pancakes because of Good Old Champions being on before.
Yeah, this is kind of the wow, I wish that we were a food stream sometimes because
right?
Those pancakes always look so good.
They look so nummy.
And we're doing the shell as well, and we're doing I'm just making
the whole
sure
shell
before
will be purple, yeah.
Okay. And then eventually we'll get to those abs.
Yeah. The abs will get the purple too.
I mean, good.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm happy that the abs are purple, but the abs deserve to be purple. Show off those abs. Make them a fun color. You earned it. You did those deadlifts. I don't know. I don't
No,
know
I'm just picturing what's being used for the deadlift, and it's an appropriate name.
I mean, that's true. Meanwhile, we've got some more questions. Spydar71, I'm going to use time gate pieces to get a slot 2 after I finish this free one. Any suggestions? Oh, slot 2. I don't have my game open because I'm trying to save on bandwidth, so I'm trying to remember who's all Whittle? In slot 2. That is Whittle.
Yeah.
That's right.
Get you a Whittle.
So there you go. Get yourself a Dumpier. A Dumpier werewolf.
Dumpier.
Yeah. Whittle is good. Who else is in slot 2? God, I can't even picture this. Help me, chat. Whiffle. Dinar or Regis? Dinar is... I really like using Dinar. I know that he's been around for a very long time, but like he's a solid, I'm going to stick you somewhere, and you're just going to buff lots of people, and you're going to help, and you're going to heal, and I think Dinar is good.
Yeah.
I mean, Blushy's in slot 2, but you don't have to worry about using a time gate to get Blushy. You just have to put in the work of unlocking her. And Kreidel. There we go. All right. Well, if you're trying to pick one, I'm definitely going to say Whittle. Whittle is just an excellent speed champion. Whittle is super useful for buffing. And also, Whittle is part of the Heroes of the Plains, and those are the best people ever of all time.
No bias.
No bias at all. Nope. 100% very just super objective opinion right there. Look at those purple abs. I'm just going to get distracted by purple abs. Are we also doing those? Yeah, those spikes are also purple.
Spikes are also purple. This is going to be a lot of base color work this week, and then we'll bring out the nuances with the dry brushing and the detail work next week. That happens a lot when you have creatures that are like 1 or 2 colors.
Yeah. But that's okay, because I said, I kind of like that this thing is just so completely, yes, I am purple, and you will still fear me.
Fear me and tremble.
Also, trying to get under the shell is
tricky.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Yeah, definitely. All right, more questions.
Tricky. I like the questions.
Oh, also, thank you, Martin. I got off of the questions document we've got in our backstage chat, and Martin had gone through the trouble of listing everybody. Whittle, Kreidel, Dinar, Talon, Korth, and Regis. I would go Whittle. Talon I really like using Talon as a buffer. especially if you have a good champion who's your DPS and a couple evil champions who are going to help out because who are not DPS but who are support. But yeah, Talon is super fun. So yeah, and Belushi and Celeste, but they're evergreen. Yeah, if we're just talking about a time gate character, then yeah, I think Whittle is your best bet at first, and then I would go either Talon or Dinar.
I agree.
Also, armpits.
Armpitties. There's a lot of just a lot of pits in this fellow.
Yeah. Nooks and crannies. Grambleites says, is Birdsong enough better than Dahani to overpower my fondness for carryover farming? I think both of them are really, really good, and they just have different applications. I love both of them. So Birdsong has become my go-to DPS when I want to have a whole bunch of the Heroes of the Plains in my formation, which I always do. Because as awesome as the Heroes of the Plains are, there's not a DPS among them. And so you have to have a DPS. And Birdsong has just become really, really good. Like, they're fast, they're nimble, they get a lot of the extra buffs because of the way that a lot of the Heroes of the Plains work. So I really like it. And then Dahani being a solid DPS in slot 1 that you can just grind over time and get more and more powerful.
Yes.
So I mean, I wouldn't prioritize one over the other. I do both because especially they're going to qualify for different things. Because that's the other thing is not everything, as much as I love Birdsong, they don't qualify for everything, especially some of the patron stuff.
Good point.
So,
yeah.
Oh, geez. How did I miss that?
I'm playing the same game. Like, I thought I got that area, but I guess not.
There's like this. So the shell comes down, and there's like this little bit that pokes out under the butt.
Yep.
And getting under that.
The nub.
Getting under that.
Yep.
What is going on? Oh,
Trust me, I've been doing that too.
Chippen says, it's a gazebo. Vampire. Yes. See? You thought a gazebo was scary. Vampire. Yes.
Vampire.
Yeah, the kitten I introduced yesterday into the game, Vampire. That's it makes everything more scary. There, I rest my case. It's a dragon. Vampire. Yeah, making it undead, just undead, only undead, that's so just cliche. Make it a vampire undead. Give
now
it
you're
fangs.
Paying attention.
Yeah, make it even fangier. Okay. I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
That's a term now. Yeah.
Yep, it's a word. It's been said. It exists.
Absolutely. Whipped Quasin says, Purple Abs. Isn't that a Prince song?
Purple abs.
I mean, if Prince was around to be a mini painter of D&D minis, I think he would have changed that song to be about a hook horror. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm having to do some pokey in this really weird spot. Yeah, there's quite frankly, I mean, I might name this one Nook and Cranny.
It was funny because you said, I'm having to poke in a really weird spot, and I didn't even bother to ask where because there's so many spots.
There's so many spots.
There's so many spots. I just found one behind the knee. And here it is. These are creatures that have the backwards legs. Not backwards, but they have like two knees.
The knee's gonna, yeah.
And so like the first knee, behind the first knee.
Yep.
Why? I mean, why? Why you gotta be that way? Oh, and then under this spike.
Yeah.
And under that spike. All right. More questions. Moraruru. There we go. I think I got that. Hi. Narak or Jahira? New player here. Welcome.
Hi.
Jahira is solid all by herself. Like, you just pick her up and she's going to be super helpful in a lot of places without really having to worry about too many other things. Narak interacts with other characters in really interesting ways and can become incredibly powerful. Uh, if you want to know more, you can do some looking up. There are guides for that. Garwar has a guide for that, I'm sure. If not, you can definitely ask on the subreddit or the Discord. And so it kind of depends on what you want to get into. Both are going to be good, though. Both are going to give you lots of options.
There you go.
God, I missed having these time gate dates.
This is true.
It has literally been a month.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, we had that those two events in a row, which was super fun, but I missed the time gate.
Are you kidding me? Sorry, I just found another spot I missed.
Oh yeah, I just started looking in the nooks and crannies on the shell in a different light, and I went, how did I get in the nook and cranny there,
but not there?
Not over there. What?
Yep. See, this is also why having that black wash on there helps.
Yeah. And then how far down did you go on the legs? I might have gone a little further than you did.
That's okay. Because we're going to do this deep feathering. That's the word I want. We're going to do some fun feathering through here.
Yeah.
To create a blending effect. So if you've gone a little bit over, that's okay. Not to worry yourself.
I'm not worried.
Good.
I'm not worried at all.
Remember, this is painting. It's supposed to be relaxing.
I know. It's painting. It's only painting. It's not brain surgery.
Yeah.
If I mess it up, it's not the end of the world. Also, brain surgery has less armpits. What?
But more nooks and crannies.
What? Get in there. How could a creature with 2 arms have 4 armpits? How does that work? Well, because nooks and crannies. Nooks and crannies. Banion. Question. We have had all the Heroes of the Plains in game now, and a couple of the Black Dice heroes too. Yes. Mm-hmm. Which other games would you like heroes to come from, and will we ever see one of these characters? See, this is an interesting...
So many characters. Careful what you wish for.
Right. This is an interesting question that I wish I could answer, but here's the thing, because we work for the company, it doesn't matter how much we say, oh, we don't know, or we're not going to be able to talk about upcoming champions. Mm-hmm. As soon as we're like, oh, I'd really like to see so-and-so, people are just going to assume they're coming to the game.
Exactly. That's why I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, but, I will say, obviously, I'm very excited about all the Heroes of the Plains. Like, that's just a given.
That's fun.
And I was super excited about getting Desmond and Tatiana, both because they're just fun characters in the game, but also because, selfishly, I got to play with them on Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, and that was just more fun than I was expecting to have fun, and then it was just amazing fun. I was so happy.
Yeah, both are fantastic players.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was excited for Orkira to meet them, and it was just overall an amazing time. And now I'm extra excited for when and if Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen has happened in the Black Dice timeline.
Yep. That's going to be an interesting development. I'm very curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, B. David mentioned that, there might be a little bit of, not timey-wimey, but like, hey, this stuff hasn't happened yet, but it will happen, which, I'm very familiar with. I've gone through quite a bit of that myself with Orkira of like, okay, I've done a thing that hasn't actually happened yet, but it will happen. So yeah, I'm excited for that moment, both because it will be an interesting moment, and I won't spoil what happened, but Desmond and Tatiana had basically a tiny lore dump in the middle of Idle Champions Presents.
Well, just a touch.
just a tiny lore dump.
Just a tiny little touch of something popping in to say hello.
Some very interesting information dropped, so when they know that in the regular game, I, as a fan of this show, am very, very excited.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. They've been off
In the past
They were
couple
off this
weeks.
week and last week, and I think they come back next
I
week.
believe
So
that's their plan. Yeah.
yeah.
So what I've done is I've gone to my detail brush and I've just started feathering the color out a little bit
Okay.
so that you want it to look streaky. That's actually the intention. Because what I want to do is create this little blending between the purple into the tan. I find that looks a lot more organic on these types of creatures than having these hard delineations. So I'm going into this feathering thing, and it's basically just taking your detail brush and you go to where you have your most solid bit of color and then just pulling streaks of the paint out. So I can show you here. Oh, as I paint my finger. Oh, that's fun. Now it looks like a bruise on my fingertip. So you can see how I have this hard line here. So what I'm going to do is just start taking my detail brush and meeting that, but then pulling it out so it streaks. So, and it's okay that I'm hopscotching over areas that those are left more open and everything like that. Because when we go back in with the tan, we're going to do a similar feathering, but with a more thinned out consistency. So it's like a glaze. So it'll blend the two together. That'll be next week. Well, actually, no, that'll be this week, potentially. Seeing as to how far we get with everything.
I mean, there's a lot of purple, and I'm assuming we want to make sure that we have done everything we can with this purple because I am on a paper plate. And thus, once I am done with today's purple, I am done with the purple.
Yeah.
So it's always good to remember that, so that I don't have to try to remix. So it was hard enough to get this purple the first time.
Yeah. And I mean,
but I'm happy with it.
Yeah. That's the other reason why if you wanted to get paint kits that have like the set colors ready to go, you could always do that. I just have fun with mixing paints because I find it gives you a more personalized result.
Yeah.
And with feathering.
Yeah, definitely having having learned how to mix and knowing what to mix in order to get certain colors has been super useful for getting these very specific, like, oh, I want a purple, but I kind of want it to be more like this.
Definitely. So you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to do that. I just went into Jersey speak. Sorry, you're going to want to do that.
You're going to want to do that?
You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to do that at the elbows, at the knees, and also around the head.
Streaky. The hard part about the streaky is the spikes.
Yes. But that's okay if you get some of the purple on the higher points of the spike and towards the base, it's more open because that's where the tan will seep in as a glaze. So it'll create this blended look. This splendid blended look. Ooh, we're getting fancy.
And I'm assuming same thing on the knees. Oh yeah, you're already there.
I'm at the knees. It's the bee's knees. Sorry.
That's one of those sayings. I was reading a whole Twitter thread about Southern sayings. And that's definitely one.
There's actually a drink at BB's called the bee's knees.
We didn't get a chance.
You didn't get to the bar?
We got to the bar, but we were too busy asking questions and looking for stuff. So we never got a chance to really just hang out at the bar and drink. Well, which, for those of you who are wondering, V ran a very awesome D&D game on Wednesday that I got a chance to play in that took place basically at a inn and tavern in Louisiana.
Yep, a little speakeasy outside of Louisiana, run by
so very metaversy and very cool.
Yeah.
And it was a murder mystery. Well, it was a mystery that ended up including murder.
Yes.
I think that's a more accurate representation. And we didn't have a lot of time to hang out at the bar because there was murder afoot.
Yes.
And I was playing a character that actually had some intelligence and wanted to get things figured out.
So much fun.
I mean, let's be honest. Tallulah was fun. Everyone was there for Reginald.
Reginald was adorable.
Reginald is the reason people have Tallulah around.
Yes.
And she is very well aware of it and takes advantage of it all the time.
I am here for that, Tallulah, because, oh my God, that pup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, I think I'm happy with my feathering, but now I'm at the point where I'm just like looking for more cracks that I've missed because
You can do that if you want to, yeah. I'm still feathering around the top of the skull. Or the head.
I'm having that worry moment of I'm gonna not have this purple anymore, so
okay.
I want to make sure.
I totally understand.
Mm.
There's no rushing. No need to rush. We're good.
This is true. This is very true. But I should look at the chat and see. Also, give me a chance to stretch a little bit.
This is true.
I'm being bad, and I'm doing that hunched over thing as I'm looking for cracks and crannies. Whipped Quazen asks, I want to pull another time gate after this free one. I'm going towards split 2 on a slot 3. Split the party 2. Awesome. I have Spurt and Nayeli. Should I get Grama for a third? Artemidas? Both are really good. Grama is just a solid tank to have. Artemidas is one of those DPS that is really useful because they're evil. And you can do some very interesting things with Artemis and some of the other characters. So depending on who else you have unlocked, and if you're looking for another DPS, you might want to go Artemis. But that might be one in where you might want to ask around either here or in our Discord, because people may want to find out what other champions you already have unlocked to help. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to go wrong with either of those. Rangzor says, as a recent new player, of approximately 5 days, I love that we're getting all these new players today.
Me too.
And a miniature painter enthusiast. We have, we are the perfect Venn diagram for you then.
Hi.
We are a circle. Yet to paint my first mini, how many pancakes are the perfect stack?
6.
I love this question. Whatever is the exact amount that you can eat and leave your plate clean, but leave satisfied.
Mm.
I know that is a very Zen answer, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Also, welcome and glad to join you. And you know what? I was a mini enthusiast long before I painted my first mini, and hopefully you get a chance to paint one. And if not, thanks for joining us and watching us paint because. You know what? It can be relaxing sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because you're not the one who's looking under all of the spikes.
I said when you're not. I was just thinking like when you're not fighting the. Oops, I missed it. Oops, I missed it.
Yeah, but I think I have either found everything, or I've reached the point in where I know that the wash will help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've reached the wash will fix this.
Fair. That is an actual stage. Like meh. Look at it later.
Meh. I'm pretty satisfied. I've got mine is a slightly lighter purple, but I'm actually happy with it. I guess I was thinking more about the purple that's on the screen for our horror. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Kind of a lavender.
Yes. There you go. A lavender hook horror.
We are getting very close to Easter.
Boingy, boingy.
Easter is a boinky, boinky? What?
I'm sorry, I went rabbit. I just went rabbit.
I'm like,
hey, I was fighting Heron Gone last night. That's where my brain is right now.
I mean, that's fair. That is super, super fair.
Cantriel took out 3 at the same time with a lightning arrow. I was like, damn, girl. Nice. Did not expect that. I was like, oh, bye.
Yeah. And I forgot. So Easter is coming up, but it's still actually several weeks away. Easter is later in the month.
Isn't it like
had to go look.
In the teens in April?
You know what? If I had actually paid attention after looking, I'm just looking for it in April. Easter is the 17th.
That's right.
The 17th of April. Yep.
In the teens. Now, luckily, once you're ready,
yes,
this next phase is much easier because we're just going to use leather brown.
Hey, okay.
So leather brown is basically just your classic tan. I'm using the Vallejo colors, the game color line.
So am I.
You don't have to. You can use other paint lines for this. I honestly, the reason why I use my Vallejo colors here is because they're smaller. I have a carrying case for them, and then I can just tuck them away, and they don't take up a whole bunch of space. I have a ton of craft paints. It's like this huge shelving unit behind me at my art desk area. I will use my craft paints for miniatures too. They work out quite well.
And the set that we recommend when you're looking at, here's the basic supplies that you need to buy in order to paint along with us.
Yep.
I've bought that same set and using that. And once again, we're on episode 19 and I'm pretty sure I haven't even gotten halfway through this paint.
Oh yeah. It takes a lot to get through.
Exactly. So it is, it doesn't look like a lot when you look at these little bottles, but little goes a long way.
Yeah.
All right. So just
leather brown, but you do want to thin this out.
Okay.
So that it's like skim milk in consistency.
Ooh. Okay.
So a little thinner than maple syrup, not as thin as a broth.
Okay.
And you want this a little bit thinner because you do want some of the purple that you just feathered to play through.
Okay.
Because we're going to counter feather.
Which is like counter spelling, except happy.
Yes. Yep. Counter is like a counter feather fall.
Oh, jeez. And you're still using the detail brush.
Still using the detail brush for this part.
Okay.
So I'm going to go in and I'm going to basically where there isn't purple, paint the leather brown, but still kind of have it so it streaks over the purple. And then pull that leather brown back towards the tip of the hook. And with the thinned out paint, you'll get this play of the purple underneath the leather brown. And it kind of creates this blended effect.
Very cool. Oh, I got totally into the painting.
Forgot the talkie part.
Yeah,
I just did too. I just did that too. I'm like, oh wait, that's right. Hi people, hi.
Yeah. Oh, we did reach the hour mark, so I should say, if you are joining us from the game, welcome. If you are joining us from the game, you've probably already collected your spring extravaganza chest. If not, hey, this is your reminder to go click on that spring extravaganza thing so that you can get your spring extravaganza chest. Have I said spring extravaganza enough? Probably not. No. Get your free stuff. Enjoy your free stuff. Because it is that time. We're just hanging out here in chat, painting things, talking about purples. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the chat. Put question in big capital letters before it so our wonderful moderator, Martin, that was a lot of M's that I suddenly had to say, and I got there. He can grab those and put those in our backstage chat, because every once in a while we're doing this. And then I forget to look at chat. So Martin is here to help and save the day. And I know a lot of people in chat have been enjoying putting their free time gate offerings into the chat to get suggestions about who they should pick. And the community is always happy to help with those suggestions. So feel free to place those in chat and see what people think. And maybe even we'll weigh in, depending. But, sometimes it's good to get multiple opinions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially when Garwar is one of those opinions in chat. You always want Garwar's opinion. Okay, all right.
So, yep. This is going to take a little bit of time because of the feathering, but it does make a difference.
And I feel like I should wait for it to dry before I get upset if I see places in where there's unevenness where the feathering is, because that's the point.
It is the point. You want it to look modeled.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Growltor, I just saw this in chat. What was the recommended paint set for mini painting beginners? This is the Vallejo color line. If you come to the Discord, it's got all the specific details, but it's this...
The game color line. It's got like a pack. Yep, that one.
The game color line.
So many local game stores carry that one.
Yep. It is very reasonably priced. It comes with every color you need, plus a couple of extras like silver and gold. And like I said, it's It has lasted me for 19 episodes and more. I might be buying some more paintbrushes, but I don't need to buy paint for a while.
Yeah.
I'm good on paint for sure.
Yep.
Oof, feathering over these spikes is hard.
It's a little tricky. That's why I like the detail brush for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And back to the questions. Tiffany Jade, is Orem a good choice to get along with Krull and Grama? I have enough for 3 time gate pieces. I'm still mainly new. Welcome. I haven't finished Sword Coast yet. So if you're talking about Omen drawn, as it were, yeah, I mean, Omen is a solid buffer, and having a bunch of the I'm trying to remember, is he, I think he's not C Team, he is Acquisitions Incorporated. Yeah, there's a good number of solid champions in Acquisitions Incorporated, which is a nice affiliation that can be really useful to invest in. So yeah, definitely I like using Omen. He's a lot of fun to just kind of stick in the back of the formation, and you tell him, hey, be back there and buff people, and he just works. He's really simple to use, and he works really well. Done. So, and especially for Krull and Grama, which I appreciate you've got those two, because yes, go for all the turtles. Turtle up your champion formation. It is good when you turtle.
We are turtle fans, can you tell?
I am such a fan of turtles.
I love turtles.
I haven't been able to play one in so long. Oh, I had the last paladin I played actually was my last turtle. I did a one shot a very long time ago, and I miss playing her. She was a lot of fun. She was grandmotherly.
Nice.
And just super sweet, and then every once in a while incredibly deadly, as paladins are wont to do.
I'm here for the grandma that kicks butt.
I'm especially here for the grandma that kicks butt when you don't think they can kick butt. Surprise kicking butt. Because, there's some, like Rosie is a grandma, but she's not your grandma's grandma.
No.
And she can act like she's just, I'm just a grandmother.
Oh, dearie.
But, like, she's also ripped. And
oh, yeah.
And sassy, and I think you get the sense with her that she can hold her own in a battle, even just looking at her.
Yes, completely agree.
So yeah, having those surprise grandmother throwdowns are always fun. And that was my paladin. All right. Ooh, wow. There's suddenly a lot of
lots of chatter.
Lots of questions about who to get into in time gates. Thinkerian asked yesterday, but need a repeat. Best champ to aim for between slots 1, 3, and 12. Well, slot 1 is Orkira. Done. Slot 3. I mean, why?
No, it just goes like Orkira. Moving on.
Orkira. Just get Orkira. Slot 3. Whittle. Slot 3 is Whittle. Go for Whittle. Unless you really need a tank, and then go for Grama. But Whittle. Slot 12, Penelope. Listen, get the heroes of the plains. Get us all.
There's a trend.
Get us all. If you need, slot 2 is Whittle. Sorry.
Yes.
I was just like, get Megan. Get
Megan. No, Megan's not in the slots.
Yeah, well, I was thinking. Okay, slot 3. Yeah, get Grama if you need a really good tank. Get Brig would be my suggestion. Oh, like I was just talking about Omen, Brig is kind of the same way.
Good, yeah.
Brig is a super strong buffer who you can just kind of stick anywhere in the formation, but I love putting... My favorite place to put Brig is in the way back of the formation, because one of his specializations is he a better buffer when there's more people around him that are doing more damage, or is he a better buffer when there's more people in front of him? And instead of doing the math, I just stick him in the back. And he just leads from the back, and it's amazing. Yep. Slot 12 is a hard one. I mean, I'm going to go Penelope because. But if you're not going to get Penelope, which I don't know why would you not get Penelope? Oh, Celise is a solid tank.
Yes,
I
that's true.
really like having Celise.
Yeah.
She's really good there, and with Rivals of Waterdeep characters,
Mm-hmm.
she's really really powerful. And Vi is super new, but a really good speed champ. And
Agreed.
also, you gotta love her animations when she's waiting and
Mm-hmm.
trying to speed everybody up is just
Oh
adorable. I
God,
love it.
the impatient tapping of the foot. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. So good. I think there's probably going to be a lot of people who will also recommend Zorbu because Zorbu is an incredibly powerful DPS, and I'm not disagreeing, but Zorbu does take some time. You gotta like Dahani and some others, and where you have to use them, and they get more powerful the more you use them. So just keep that in mind when you're picking slots. That Zorbu might take a little bit more care and patience to get to the powerful DPS that he is.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, you're gonna get Orkira and you're gonna get Penelope and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be absolutely fine. I don't know why that's even a question. I mean, won't you be Penelope's friend?
Any questions?
Up for Lamb 113. Question. When is the selection determined when I click on the green button or when I click on the green button or before that? I want to unlock Warden in Mert's patron shop first. If the selection is chosen after I open up a time gate screen? Ah, I see what you're asking. I believe, I'm unsure, when you open up the screen, when you say, hey, pick do a time gate, it hasn't, if you're doing the free time gate weekend, I believe once you open it up, it picks one. If you're doing the paid time gate, well, then you don't have to worry about the free. I think it's when you click on it. If you're looking to unlock Warden in Mert's patron shop first, maybe I'd just go after that first before you click on that, because when you open up a time gate, it's the free ones are going to prioritize a champion that you don't have, a champion who is retired, and another champion, a random champion. And so if you don't own Warden, there is a very good chance Warden could show up there. And so if you're looking to get him in Mert's patron shop, if you're looking to get them in Mert's patron shop, you probably want to do that first to be on the safe side. And now I got to move on to the face, I think, because I think I think I am at least the point in where I want to wait for it to dry to see what I have made. What have I
created?
What have I created? So yeah, FaceTime. Are we doing the whole face?
Yes. You go all the way across the face, down the schnoot, not in the mouth. Leave the mouth alone, but you do the whole face.
Okay. Cassie's 335. Question. How many surprise grandmothers would it take to defeat one Batman? No prep time because surprise. How many grandmothers would it take? I mean, are they evil grandmothers? Are they doing evil things?
I'm trying to figure out like what they.
Because honestly, if it's just grandma, that right there defeats Batman. Because
I was going to say it's a grandma.
Unless it's an evil grandma, in which case Batman will just punch a grandma. I believe anyway. I mean, what do you think, V? Would Batman punch an evil grandma?
Incapacitated. I don't think he'd like full out punch.
Well, wait, how would he incapacitate a grandma without the full out punch?
I don't know. Take her yarn and wrap her up in it.
Oh, go Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was literally thinking knockout with a punch. But I guess my Batman is very straight and to the point when it comes to getting into a fight.
My Batman was also like the 1960s show, to be quite honest. I used to watch that as a kid, so that's where I default to Batman.
Yeah. See, I default to Batman the Animated Series.
There you go.
Who is still, that's still my Batman.
Batman.
That was such a good show. I mean, the movies have been really, really good. Yeah. But yeah, Kevin Conroy will always be my Batman.
Yeah, no, that was a good show. I didn't watch it as faithfully as I did the reruns for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, when it first came out, that was still an age in where reruns and VCRs and all of that were still difficult to deal with. And so catching shows, there were a lot more reruns so that you could catch shows that had been on.
Yeah.
So there were definitely bunches of shows that I remember watching when I was young that I only ever watched in reruns because I was not able or around to watch them when they were live.
Yeah.
MASH being one of them.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Gosh, I used to watch MASH all the time at my grandfather's house in the summer when I was there.
Yeah. I watched a ton of MASH. I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
I still cry at the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I do love the Marvel hero Hawkeye will always to me be
Hawkeye, yeah.
He will always be a surgeon in MASH in the 4077th.
Mm-hmm. Not wrong at all.
Mm.
It helps to be under the camera. Sorry about that, folks. I was leaning back because I'm like, I can't see with the camera, and then I forgot to say I'm going off screen. Apologies. Apologies.
Hey, listen, sometimes we just get really into the mini paint.
That's just it. I was getting into it. I'm like, I can't see this, so let me come back here.
Mm-hmm. Delungji says, impossible to mention MASH without immediately hearing the theme song in your head. Yeah, these are facts. I mean, I do have Suicide is Painless going through my head right now because I mentioned it. Even if I hadn't mentioned it, I just thought about it, and I will get that theme in my head. It's really good. Oh, we got a question from somebody, but I don't see who it's from. When doing the first time gate, do I reset after 50 or push a bit further? You don't really need to push. Just getting to 50 or 75 or whatever the requirement is to get you that chest is really all you need. If you would like to push a little bit further in order to get more favor when you convert, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking to just unlock a couple chests and a champion and get going, then just get yourself to 50 or 75 or whatever the requirements are. You can always decide once you've done the main ones that get you the gold chest and you've unlocked the free play, you can always decide if you want to push a little bit further for favor or to try to get more of the silver chest. You can always just run that. So yeah, I think get yourself some chests. I'm also the person who, when I play, I set the game and then I forget it. So often I end up pushing just accidentally. It's like, whoops, I went, yeah. Wash Wizard, which is a very appropriate name.
I was going to say, hey.
I just wish you had a question about washes. Question, do time gates always have characters you don't own? If you don't own champions, yes. There will always be at least one champion you do not currently own. And that is on purpose because that is one of the main reasons to do a time gate is to fill out your roster. And it would be really, really annoying if the whole purpose of a time gate is to do that and then it just randomly, accidentally never gave you a champion to unlock that you own. So we do that on purpose to try to help. But so yes. One of them will always be an unowned champion. Oh, getting in between the toes is hard.
It is. You're not hearing that, are you? Like the wind's picking up, so I'm getting like the howling sound happening. I'm just making sure it's not translating through.
Nope.
Okay, cool. I promise there's nothing there's nothing coming from inside the house. It's just the way the wind blows around my
There's something coming from it. There's wind coming from inside the house.
There's a banshee in the house.
I mean, I don't hear it, chat. Do you hear it?
Yeah,
chat is always the arbiter of sounds.
There we go.
We always turn to chat when necessary.
Chat, can you hear me?
And then we wait the 6 to 8 seconds for the delay to catch up, and then which always gives me time to like finish whatever I'm painting so that I could look over. Cassie says, "No?" Question mark.
No. No.
All right. Okay. Sure.
Should I? You get.
I mean, maybe I'm just talking enough that they can't hear it. In which case, I'll be quiet. Can you hear it? This is the sound of silence. And now you have that song in your head. Anyway, thank you, chat. I appreciate it. Yes, silence. This is the sound of silence. There we go. I had to sing it.
Me too. I was already there.
Mm.
So I'm going to have some fun, and I'm actually going to take, just for some variety here, since I have this thinned out leather brown, I'm going to put it onto the tip of the abdominal horns.
Ooh.
Spikes, or whatever the heck these are. Here we are back to questioning what the body part is.
I mean, with those, I think you could call it pretty much anything you want.
Pokey bits.
The pokey bits. I mean, if you're getting poked with it, then you're not wrong, right?
Right?
Help, I'm being attacked by the pokey bits. You know, and then you get the know-it-all wizard who says, well, actually, those are actually called something else.
Thank you.
I don't care what they're called. Just get me off
They're
of them.
pokey bits.
I'm still
I like
working
how
on
that looks. I like that.
This one leg.
Better.
Ah, I see what you're doing. Nice.
Yeah.
I will join you in that shortly as soon as I finish this leg.
A little bit.
Yeah, especially since it's purple spikes in front of the purple shell.
That's just
with the
it.
purple
They were
labs.
getting lost. I'm like, joys of mini painting is you can give it your own interpretation.
Poke, 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 poke. Sorry, I'm trying to get in between the toes again, and that is.
Oh, it's definitely a poke zone.
It's the only way. This is the way. This is the only way. Poke, 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 poke. All right, and I will join you on the tips of those 4 spikes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna end up putting this on the tips of all the spikes, just a little touch. It just kind of breaks up the details a little bit more and enhances it.
I mean, you could say that it gets in the way of looking at these abs. I mean, check out these abs.
Look at them abs.
As Tatiana would say, that's at least a 12-pack. That was my favorite way of being rescued, is being rescued by doing math about abs.
Ha.
Brown on the pokey bits is... There we go. Oh. I almost forgot there's another side to the pokey bits.
Yep. You gotta get all the way around.
What have I signed up for? No. All right. Okay. Yeah.
It looks like we have a rendition of the song being typed out in... Okay. Grail shaped. I'm liking this. Hello, dry paint, my old friend. I've come to paint with you again.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I mean, this is the point in where we cross over with Bardic Inspiration. I know.
I'm bad about, like, seriously. I have a bad habit. Someone says a word and suddenly I have a song stuck in my head and I just start singing.
I don't think it's just you. I think that is a relatively normal thing that a lot of us do.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I do it. I don't always sing out loud because I'm not a singer.
Oh, I do sing out loud is the problem. I forget that I'm doing it. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I need to talk about silence.
No, I almost never intentionally sing out loud because I know better. Hey, listen, I have talents. Singing is just not one of them.
You absolutely do have talents. My goodness, the way you play your oboe.
And singing is just not one of those talents, and that's okay. No one needs to be good at everything.
I can't make chocolate chip cookies.
I can if I buy the pre-made stuff that you just put on a thing.
I can make other cookies and stuff. For some reason, chocolate chip cookies and we don't get along. We don't have an accord.
Even if you buy like the pre-made, what happens?
What just never come out right?
Who has cursed you?
I don't know. They always come out like super like flat, or they like don't smush down enough. I don't know. I just never have luck with the dang things.
Wow.
I'm
so sorry. I'm like genuinely upset for you.
I can make amazing chocolate chip cookie bars, which is the same damn recipe.
Wait, what? It's the same thing. You know what you should do? Make chocolate chip cookies, but you should just say these are chocolate chip bars the whole time. You should just insist that they're bars.
I am making bars.
And then just make the worst shaped bars ever. Just make badly shaped bars and see what happens.
That's pretty funny. So yeah, that's been my the bane of my existence. I can't make good chocolate chip cookies.
I can't sing, you can't make chocolate chip cookies. Hey, you know, if these are the worst things to happen in our lives, then we're super duper lucky. One of these days we'll get together, you'll sing, I'll make chocolate chip cookies, and the world will be new again.
Yes, we'll be all set and ready to go.
Also, I just saw a spot I missed, so I'm going to go back.
You know, I did.
There
that
we
is
go.
A spot. I'm going to go back in and fix it.
As I could tell that we were preparing to show our work, and I was preparing to do this, and then I looked at the back of the leg, and I'm like, oh, you second knee, you. You'd figure after Orkira I'd be used to the whole backwards legs thing, but no.
But still.
No. Okay, well, now that's done. Chocolate chip chests, says Hacky Channel. Ooh. Chocolate chip mimics. Those would be the most deadly mimics.
Yes, I'm also looking at chats like, V can't do. Yes, there are things I can't do, folks. I'm human.
I mean, you are kind of amazing. So I don't blame chat for being like, wait, we have found a flaw?
Oh, God.
Oh, Alias Buck, my whole world has been ruined. You know what this means? Everybody just needs to spend time making chocolate chip cookies this weekend in honor. For honor of V.
Put some good baking juju.
Yeah, exactly. And then think of V. Think of her fondly when you make those chocolate chip cookies. All right, what are we doing next?
Now, I actually want to paint the base, believe it or not, because this one is something where the base color will still actually work. So, I just got distracted. No, I'm not an elf, contrary to popular belief. I play one on TV. A couple on TV.
I mean, we can call streams TV, right?
Yes. They get broadcasted onto televisions for people. So to me, I'm like, that's technically, I play one on TV. So I'm going to take the Beastie Brown and actually, no, they're in, take it all back. Because they are in more stone-like environments and caves and such. We're going to take black and stonewall gray. And we're going to make like a nice dark gray tone.
Oh, okay. Then I got to grab my gray.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
How dare.
How dare I forget a cooler?
Second time in one that I have to reach over here and, pull out a second. Oh, God.
It's such a pain.
All right, how much black to how much gray are we doing?
I am doing 2 parts black to 1 part of the stonewall gray.
Oh, so much, much darker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Neat. And you will need a detail brush to get around the toesies.
Oh, and Fantastic Tanuki definitely making cookies after work today. The pre-made dough ones. Listen, I love the pre-made dough ones, partially because ease of use. Also, I am one of those people who eats chocolate chip cookie dough raw.
Because it's good.
It is so good.
Yummy.
It is the best. It is super yummy. But, you know, I also understand people who like their chocolate chip cookies cooked, or who are cautious about eating raw things. The rawness, I totally understand. I have a pretty strong stomach, though, so I'm...
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will bite me someday.
Knock wood.
But I am one of those people who can eat chocolate chip cookie dough raw, and I tend to be fine. Okay. So what I'm guessing is you're going to do the thing where you outline the feet with the color and then go back and... Hey, it's like I'm learning from you or something.
You're picking up the tricks of the trade, yo.
Yeah. This is always the moment where I feel like I'm doing the most painting in the lines because it is so much of the outlining of stuff.
Yeah.
And just being nice and careful.
Yep.
And I'm even going to try. I'm going to try so hard to get... There's 1 or 2 talons that actually lift off of the base. I'm going to try to get the gray under them.
Nice.
I'm going to try. Why not? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I'll call that good. It's close enough for
It could
death.
just be the claws are starting to dig into the stone like they do.
Yeah, there we go. Gray L Shape says, "Is this a grandma at a surprise birthday party or a grandma equivalent of a drop bear?" I think I'm seeing questions from earlier from when we were talking about grandma versus Batman.
Oh,
which
yes,
is okay.
yes. Back to that.
I mean, I'm still gonna go with Batman
Mhm.
because once again, unless these grandmas are evil, there's no reason for them to fight. I mean,
Yeah.
actually, I should probably just go with the grannies because if there's no reason to fight, then Batman isn't fighting them, and so technically Grandma wins.
How about they both win?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's something to be said for Batman needing parental figures
Exactly.
in his life. But I don't want to get into the psychology of Batman because
that gets deep.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, that's a whole thing.
That is very
and it
much
depends
a whole
on which
thing.
Batman you're talking about and all kinds of stuff. So, and I have not seen the latest Batman yet.
I have not seen the Batman.
Well, which one is the Batman?
Isn't that the one that's just out?
Okay, then we're talking about the same movie.
Okay.
I couldn't remember what the name of that one was. I just remember it's the most recent Batman's.
The Batman.
Yes.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've seen the one before the Batman. I'm terrible at movies. That's another thing I'm not good at. I'm not good at watching movies.
Well, wait, are you just talking about the number of movies or just you're not good at the actual act of participating in the watching of a movie?
I am not good at it. I will sit down and then I get up and I walk away.
I mean, that is one of the nice things about movies coming out digitally on demand quicker. That is one of the silver linings of this dark cloud that we've been under the last couple of years. True. Is I am not a movie theater
aficionado.
Movie theaters, yeah, like they're fun. Yeah. But I don't need to go. And there's a lot of movies I want to see that I just don't want to see in a theater. I don't feel like putting that effort in.
Yeah.
So, like, just being able to see it at home and be comfy and then do things like be able to put it on pause so I can go to the bathroom or grab some more snacks is amazing. So good. Especially like Black Widow was I think it was like it was 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was a pretty decent sized movie. It was not your standard 90-minute affair. And yes, I'm a musician who's used to doing 3.5 hour operas, but there's an intermission. You know, I'm okay with sitting for hours and hours, but there's at least a 15-minute intermission in the middle. So I loved watching Black Widow and being able to take a pause in the middle of the movie.
I think they need to bring back intermissions because that used to be a thing.
That was, yeah.
And it needs to be a thing again, in my book, if the movie is like significantly long.
I wouldn't mind that. Or just let them come out at home quicker so that you can just make your own intermission. Make your own intermission. Everybody gets up. Let's all go to the
But seriously.
lobby.
But that's just it. It's like, okay, you have your break and people get up and they wander and they obviously go use the facilities. But then it's like, hey, kind of getting hungry. Look, there's a snack place. And they'll get more snacks.
Yeah. I can kind of understand why filmmakers either would not want an intermission or would want to have a lot more control over it.
Yeah.
But so I could see filmmakers, especially since movies have... Because, I mean, the honest answer is the reason that they used to do intermissions is because they had to change film reels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it was... long enough. Like, back in my day when you had to change when they were reels. Yeah. And so I don't think it's a bad thing to not have intermissions, but, you know, being able to set your own time is really good.
Definitely.
But you know what? I mean, maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon. Maybe that's just me.
Kind of like the idea of the charm of having an intermission.
Yeah. Ooh, geez. Garwar says, this Batman movie was so long my car battery almost died at the drive-in.
Oh.
I should have brought a portable radio, I guess. First off,
wow.
Kudos to you for the drive-in, for having a drive-in nearby
That's
and
cool.
going. That's super cool. Second off, wow, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I had heard that was Luke did say, because Luke has seen the Batmans. Luke did say it's a long movie, but he liked it enough that it didn't feel like a long movie.
Oh.
But that it's a chonker. And yes, Monty Python's Meaning of Life. I mean, Monty Python on a regular basis put funny play intermissions into their stuff.
Absolutely. Yes, I just licked my brush. Don't at me.
I was not looking.
Someone in the chat will always say, hey, I know what I did.
I did it, and I know it, and I'm going to do it again.
Anyways, and I will, and I have tried, and I was just like, you know what?
And one of these days, I'm going to lick my brush, and I'm going to go, I learned it from you.
I learned it from you, B. I learned it from you.
And then ends the show as we will have come full circle in drama.
And then we have to go to Champions of Psychology to talk through our issues.
Oh, that's a crossover episode.
Right?
Oh, wow.
Dr. B would be cracking up the second we start talking about it.
That's an interesting...
Or he'll steer right into it and just play along.
Or why not both? I mean, we've definitely talked, now that we have all of these variety of shows, about doing stuff like switching up hosts and shows and doing fun things like that, giving people something a little different. But I did just now realize I could pretty much go on any other show and play along, except for Champions of Psychology. I'm not qualified to be on that show.
Nope.
I don't know what I would do. That would be bad. Whereas Dr. B or Mitra could come on any of these shows and be absolutely fine.
I have it on good authority that Dr. B paints minis.
Mm-hmm.
So, just fun. That would be fun.
But yeah, that would be a fun moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be horrifying because I can Kevin 6 degrees of separation, 7 Kevin, what was it? It's not 6 degrees of separation, but the Kevin Bacon thing.
Oh, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, isn't it?
Is it 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
I thought it was.
Okay, whatever that Kevin Bacon score is. I can Kevin Bacon my way to a psychologist because my dad was a psychologist. But that doesn't make me an expert.
No, absolutely not.
That makes me a fan, but not an expert.
Spot under the feet. My bad.
I think I got the bass.
Because you know what all about the bass,
I just recommended a cover version of that song to the venerable James Intercasso on the tweetagrams was asking, what's your favorite cover of a song? And Postmodern Jukebox does a version of All About That Bass.
Oh, that's fun.
Is amazing.
Very cool.
Is super, super, super cool. So I was just thinking about that exact song this morning.
Lovely. Let's see him tomorrow and see if he's listened to it. We actually play in a Saturday game together, and it's so much fun.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I think
I got a bass.
I think I got the bass, and I think I'm not playing the Pokey Pokey Forgot a Spot. Nope. Look, right there.
I can't see it, but you see it, so that's all that matters. I've definitely reached the point of, I think I've gotten all the spots, and if I can't see it right now, the wash will fix it.
This is the joy of having a camera on your miniature, because then you find those spots and you see them. Can I even reach that spot? Come here, you.
I can't even see that spot. I'm impressed. Yeah, everybody's talking about 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon now.
Nice. Excellent.
I'm not upset about this.
Me either. There we go.
I am bad at that game because I don't have enough movie/TV knowledge. Although my actual Kevin Bacon score is quite low.
Yeah.
Because my dad, and this is once again, we're going back to my dad. My dad was a psychologist who, during his residency, he worked with the gentleman who was the basis of Dustin Hoffman played. There was a movie with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise Rain Man.
Yeah.
The person that Dustin Hoffman based his portrayal of was a patient that my dad, in his time as a psychologist, had a chance to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I get into the movie connection, is through my dad to Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman's been in something with Kevin Bacon. So it was like a burp, burp, burp.
That works, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's your 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
I don't have one. I don't
I'm sure
think.
you do now because you know me and I have a
Well,
dad.
there we go. Now I do.
did
Yay! Oh, Lord.
There you go. Everybody at home, if you didn't think that you had a connection to Kevin Bacon, you do now.
Now you do.
I present unto you, you have a Kevin Bacon number of 5. Because me, the dad, the guy, Dustin Hoffman,
That's
Kevin Bacon. Yes.
That's
There
a
you go.
riot.
Anyway, what are we doing next?
I think we're going to let this fellow dry.
Ooh.
Because if we're going to get into some dry brush work, I want to make sure everything is nice and not nook and cranny filled with some paint that still needs to dry.
Yeah.
And
that's
plus,
fair.
looking at where we are time-wise, we're getting kind of into...
Yeah, we've got 9 minutes.
We've got 9 minutes. So that's kind of like... I think what we'll do is we'll kind of call it a shorter stream for today. And then what we'll do is next week do our dry brushing and our details on these. And we have to come up with names. We do have to think about
chat.
names.
Help us with names for these.
Yes, let's think of some names here because I'm actually starting to run out of name ideas because I have a lot of minis now.
Yeah, we can't just keep calling these the Hook
Horrors. It's
hard to say. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget Dustin Hoffman's son played a boy eating breakfast.
Captain Hook.
I like Loki Grommel.
Howie.
Captain Hook is really good.
Howie. Okay,
Yeah.
Howie's kind of cute.
Howie's good. Harry the Hook Horror.
But then we have to keep saying Hook Horror.
I like Harry, though. They can just be the irony of Harry is they're not Harry.
They're not Harry at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely not.
Ooh, Bay Neon. You could call one of them Crochet. Because I think I'm taking that one.
There you go.
Crochet is mine.
Crochet. That works.
I love that.
Hook and
Yes. You know what? I'm going to make a note for next week.
There you go.
In our backstage chat. Especially since I'm going to double check how to spell crochet.
C-H-R-O. Or no, C-R-O-C-H. I can spell it. Crochet. I'm not good at spelling when I say it out loud. So, Kevin Bacon. You know, it would be funny to name one of these Kevin Bacon. Then I have a degree of separation from Kevin Bacon.
Well, now yours is called Kevin Bacon. Okay. Crochet and Kevin
Bacon. you know that this works though, because like Kevin Bacon, he's got like a ripped ab thing in a couple of his movies, so yeah, that could work.
That's true. In Tremors?
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is objectively an attractive human being.
So there you go. This is Kevin Bacon. Hi!
I love that you're calling it Kevin Bacon too, because at some point, like 5 years from now, you're going to use this creature and you're going to call it Kevin Bacon, and then you're going to have to explain this very moment right here. Why is this called Kevin Bacon? Well, I used to be on a show.
Uh-huh. Although maybe it's like, you have to check out this show. If it's 5 years later, you have to check out this show. I'm kidding.
I mean, I'd be happy with that. So I've been doing this show for 5 years, and we've run out of names.
And now we just name them after actors we talk about. Oh, my Lord. That's too fun. Okay, so yes.
Make sure to tag Kevin Bacon in next week's post. Trevor's going to
tag
Kevin.
I will. It has happened in the past. Yes.
That you've tagged Kevin Bacon?
Not Kevin Bacon. No. When I did that Tiamat right back there, everyone was like, the couple people tagged Joe because of it. They're like, "Hey, Joe, look!" So I have had that happen in the past.
I mean, if you really want to bug the person who's taking care of Kevin Bacon's social media, okay, fine. It'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Trevor, you absolutely have to. All right, so next week we're going to do some of the dry brushing.
Yes.
And we will finish this one up.
We will.
And then we can't yet talk about what we're doing after that. But as soon as we can, by this episode next week, we'll be able to talk about what we're doing next. So make sure you are on our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions.
Frank.
because we will be announcing it there, as well as all of the stuff that you will need to play along. Also, make sure we'll talk about some of the fun stuff that's come out. If you haven't unlocked Belushi yet, I'm gonna get it right.
Okay.
I was so good for the entire game.
It's cool. You're saying Belushi. I'm saying Mecha Suit. It's all.
Oh yeah. Since this is the spring celebration, we don't have the image, but if Martin, the wonderful moderator who's been helping us out this week, if you could put, there we go, Mech Suit Nova in chat, that is a gift from us to you, our stream watchers, for joining us for the last 3 days of the spring celebration. There is still Garwar's Guide to Everything coming up after this show, so stick around. There is more fun to be had. Make sure you are logging into the game every day to pick up your chest and check out some of the new stuff we've got available in the game. There's polymorphed Minsk and polymorphed Yorvin skins, because pack antics is a thing and kobolds are fun.
They are.
And so I have to ask, I enjoy the fact that polymorphed Minsk still has Boo as a miniature giant space hamster, but I have heard people saying that they wanted Boo to also be polymorphed into a miniature giant space kobold. And I'm kind of here for both. What do you think?
I would kind of like to see Boo as a gecko.
I would like to subscribe to this newsletter. Would you please tell me more? But yeah, definitely go check out in the game shop, those adorable kobold familiars, because hey, eventually the whole idea is to just have an entire party worth of either kobolds or people who are looking like kobolds. Because they're not really kobolds. They just had seeming cast on them.
Yes.
So, or I guess polymorph in this case, but you know.
Belushi up.
Oh, and there's Belushi. Yay!
Yay!
So definitely, definitely unlock Belushi. If you are having problems unlocking Belushi, stick around, because I'm sure Garwar's got a guide for that.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic weekend.